Welcome to
the Think Twice podcast.
I'm your host, Lee.
And I'm Chrissy.
And this is our pilot episode.
Woo woo.
And we've started this podcast for me to create a space to talk about real fat girl shit. Some of the trials, tribulations that we had sometimes since childhood, if you were a plus size child. So really having a space for us to talk about relationships, advocating for ourselves, and just gaining confidence through this. What about you?
Yes, I agree with all of that. And I wanted to start something for very similar reasons. I feel like a lot of us have a lot of shared experiences that we just don't talk about. And actually, social media has made that very clear to me that a lot of us go through the same things, but we just don't get to talk about it. And I hope that this is a space that we could create more conversations, especially around fat bodies, plus size women, and accepting who we are.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit more about yourself, since we're both so passionate about this. What do you like to do? Who are you, girl?
Yeah. Okay, so once again, I'm Chrissy, and currently I am a social worker by day. I have a master's in social work, and I am a model, social media influencer by night. So just trying to make both of my passions work together, honestly. But yeah, I'm just really trying to just, I don't know, just get more out there. Just show that you could be fat and confident and beautiful, and those don't have to be like separate, you know?
Yeah, they definitely don't have to be separate. Just a little bit about me. My name is Lee. That's what I'm going by on here. Don't blow my cover. And I'm a sex health educator. I've been doing this for about 2.5 years. I just became a birth and postpartum doula, so I'm starting that journey. And then I'm just starting my podcast journey. A lot of people have instilled in me that I have a YouTube personality. And I just want to try some things and not be anxious about the world. So trying it, like you said, getting myself out there, trying something different, having some fun. I hope this can be overall just fun for us to do and not like super serious.
Yeah, I feel that. No, we definitely not serious together
at all.
But yeah, so our first episode today is going to be about our turning point. So our turning point on when we just like said like fuck the bullshit, like I'm going to be confident, I'm going to, you know, be the best version of me that I could be regardless. You know, because a lot of times with plus size people, in our childhoods, we just don't feel confident. And that could be because of other people around you. That could be because of internal feelings.
Yeah.
But, you know, I just hope that as we all age and get older, that we grow into confidence if you didn't already have that. So that's kind of what we're going to be talking about today.
Yeah.
Just when that happened for us. So when did that happen for you?
I could say when I was in high school, for sure. I was just like, fuck everything. I'm hot. I'm not wearing pants in the summer. Like, I'm about to wear some shorts. Like, and if people are looking at me, I don't care, because at the end of the day, I'm going to go home and probably feel some type of way that I've seen people looking at me, but I'm still going to be more proud of myself that I wore what fit the temperature and not my insecurity.
I feel that.
Yeah.
And you know, I think my turning point also happened in high school. Middle school was horrible for me, only because, you know, kids are bullies, and being like the biggest girl did not make that easier for me. It's not like I got, you know, severely bullied every day, but it was enough to where it affected how I viewed myself.
Yeah, trauma is trauma, man.
Yeah, and you know, it's my turning point is weird. You're gonna be like, what? But I remember, so my cousin, shout out to my cousin Sarita, she took me shopping one day. She was like, go to the mall with me. We went to the mall, and we went in Forever 21. Never heard of Forever 21 in my life. I was probably like 14. And we walked in, and she's plus size. We went to the plus size. And by the way, my cousin Sarita always been a fashionista. So we get to the plus size section, and my eyes, like, I started like, what? They have cute clothes in my size I actually want to wear. Like, because my mom, shout out to my mom, but she was taking me to Ashley Stewart. Ashley Stewart, Foreman Mills, Bold on Budget. You know, different places like that. My mom is a plus size lady, so you know, of course, she's taking me to the places that she's shops familiar. For herself for plus size clothes, but they may have not been for my age group per se, or my taste. But after going into Forever 21 and seeing that it was actually stores out here that had cute clothes that I felt could flatter me and just show my personality more, that's what really started the turning point for me. I guess I found confidence through fashion, through clothes, through fashion bloggers, Gabby Fresh, Tess Holiday, just various plus size women that I just saw embracing themselves.
Yeah, and Gabby Fresh definitely is like a four woman on my confidence wall.
Shout out to Gabby.
Francita P. Johnson is another one that I've really followed a lot. Even Ashley Graham before they got big. And Marquita, they were all like just Lane Bryant models, and I just looked up to them a lot. I was one of those kids. I always had magazines, always had Teen, Vogue, always had 17 magazine. So I was always trying to be in the mix of like fashion, what's going on in pop culture, media. And I would just see so many things in there that would be so cute that I was like, one summer, literally, I brought like my first pair of like shorts that weren't like, weren't capris, they weren't no gauchos, like they were shorts, they stopped at the middle of my thighs. I still have them to this day because they were just like, it was
not
just,
to this day.
No, to this day. It was so epic for me. It was just such a big thing for me not to cover myself up or like start to like wear shorter items in high school, and have people say like, are you sure you want to wear that? Or that looks, I guess
that's a great point.
Like people doubting you because they're afraid of you taking in your confidence. So I still have those pair of shorts, like bought them from TJ Maxx, and then like from there, that's when I did discover like, okay, so Forever 21 plus size section, you could call it Faith 21. It was only at the Superfar Mall, Great Lakes Crossing. So that's when I found like that, and I still had the first shirt I brought from there because I'm a hoarder. But it was so cute, and that was like the first time I had like plus size clothing that I really liked and picked out myself. Because like you said, like it was either Ashley Stewart. My mama was torn the fuck out of me. Like she thank you for buying me. Thank you for buying me clothes. I appreciate it. But I was also wearing the men's Dickies, and so you can tell the difference between women's Dickies pants and men's Dickies pants. And so
I had to wear men's clothes often.
Yeah. And so kids are assholes in middle school. And so they're like, you can't even fit the women's pants. You got to wear the men's pants. So it was just like trauma that still follows me. Like, even scared to be seen now. Like, you know, I'm cute. You know what I'm saying?
Period.
But that I still have issues with people like looking at me and like, don't look at me, don't perceive me. Even though I may have confidence now, I still be like,
you still have moments.
What the fuck are you looking at?
I mean, no, that's real, because even I still have moments. People look at me and they're like, oh, she is so confident. You know, I wish I had that. But if there is even days where I'm looking in the mirror like, oh, look at this roll, look at this stomach. But, you know, at the end of the day, I just have to remind myself, like, that shit is natural. It's normal and it's okay to have. And, you know, I just have to embrace all of me, even the parts that I want to improve on. So yeah, I feel like you're just a continual work in progress.
Definitely. And it was like wearing those clothes, because sometimes it does start off as simply as wearing something different.
Yeah.
Trying something that makes you feel uncomfortable. And I'm not talking about it's riding up your booty. Talking about it may be a little bit shorter than what you usually do. It may be a little bit more see-through. It may be a little bit more tighter. And sometimes when I wear those, I literally feel like nauseous. Like, oh my God.
Not nauseous?
Yes, I get nauseous. I have horrible anxiety. So, like, nauseous. And then I go out, I wear it, and I come back home. I'm still alive. And I just try something different. So, that's what a lot of it was. Just, like, testing the waters. Like, yeah, I know this is different for me. But if I like it, I'm going to continue it. And it was times where I wore those pair of shorts because I wore them all the time after I like really broke them in.
Yeah.
And I remember this one time at the movies, and a woman just stared at me, like stared at my legs. She even like turned back to stare at me while I was walking. And it just made me so uncomfortable because it was like I already am hyper aware of people looking at me. So for her to like make faces and like just like it was like a distasteful face she made. Just made me super uncomfortable for trying to live and be a human being. That's what I really feel like I was just like, my turning point was just like, I'm just trying to be a human.
Yeah.
Without all these other aspects about it, I just want to be what normal is, and I'm gonna make that for myself.
How about can I just be me without somebody judging?
Can I just be myself?
Can I just be in public, just at fucking Kroger, and nobody gives me glares?
If I ask for extra food at Chipotle, nobody say,
okay.
Like, can I be hungry, bitch?
Listen, but I'm like earlier you had mentioned something about trying outside of your comfort zone, and you know just reminded me of something I read that growth will never come from your comfort zone. So if you do want to grow, if you want to gain confidence, then you definitely have to try something outside of your comfort zone in order to gain that. That may be positive affirmations, telling yourself that you are beautiful, that you are worthy of love, that you love yourself. That could be trying different clothes. Wear that fucking crop top. Wear those shorts. Okay, wear something that's tight. As long as you're happy in it and you feel like it looks good on you, who gives a fuck what other people think? That's pretty much the point I had to come to of not giving a fuck.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, like I don't give a fuck of other people's opinions on how I look, what I'm wearing. As long as I'm happy with myself, who gives a fuck, honestly? And I know a lot of people take other people's opinions to heart. And you just gotta break out of it. If you truly want to find confidence and love within yourself, it can never be attached to other people's thoughts. That's what I had to learn. Because I remember, I told you this story before, but I remember walking into my grandma's house one day. I had to be like 12, 11, something like that. I've been plus size my whole life. My grandma has been plus size my whole life. Her friends have all been plus size. I walk in the door, and her plus size old friend looks at me and says, "Ooh, your grandbaby done gained some weight. She needs to lose some." Excuse me, coming from a lady who was probably my size or bigger, probably bigger than me at the time. You know, it's just like I really took that to heart as a kid. But as a person now looking back, like fuck that old lady. I'm sorry, you know, old lady, but I just had to get to the point where
still fuck you.
It's still fuck you. And fuck your opinion about me because it doesn't matter.
Because when adults start fat shaming kids and teaching them that hate for themselves, it's just it starts a bad trail of like feelings and emotions, because like the person that you are looking up to, or not even looking up to, but they're around you, surrounding you. For me, it was like a little bit of everybody. So it was like my family, it was my siblings, it was like teachers telling my mom I had to wear certain undershirts because
What?
because I was like developing a little bit earlier.
Wow.
And so like you said, as you brought up a point that was so important. I just started paying attention to my body, and I judge my body off of my body because it was a Raven Simone quote. I was probably watching too much Disney Channel, like the summer games they used to have.
Yes.
So I was probably watching too much of that. And she said that this is something that stuck with me. I can never be somebody else, and someone else can never be me.
And that's on period.
And I don't know why that was just like an epiphany for me. Um, because it made me realize that I no matter what I do, no matter what I eat, no matter how much I work out, I will never be that person. I don't have that foundation. I wasn't born into that family. I don't have that genes. Like I will never be that person. I can only be who I am and what I know myself from the past and how I can push myself to change in the future. And that's something that I don't know, as a teenager, that like really just stuck with me. Like I would never ever be these people on social media. I don't look to be these people on social media. Until this day, I will never be that person. I can only be and judge myself on myself. Like,
Yeah, there will never be another you.
yeah.
Yeah. I think Kanye said something similar to that too. Like, it was something like they may be smarter, more beautiful, but they will never be you.
Yeah.
Something like that, yeah. At the end of the day, people will never be you. Nobody could ever replicate you, what you bring to the table, what you look like, who you are, what you're about. So just know that there is uniqueness within you. And there is like a sense of self to be able to say like, I could be the shit in my mind, even if nobody else thinks it. You could be the shit to yourself.
Yeah.
Like, like other people's opinions don't matter.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Does your confidence cause other people to be uncomfortable? And what does that look like for you? Like, how does that, like, did something come to mind?
I personally don't know if my confidence like makes people look at me or say like, oh, her confidence is making me feel weird. I don't think so, but I just had a really great experience, honestly. So I just did my first fashion show. Yay, yeah, it was awesome, honestly. It was a great experience. But I did my first fashion show this past weekend, and when I tell y'all, I was the only plus size model that they had walking for them, the only one. And at first I was like, like it's all skinny chicks, skinny long chicks in here. So I'm trying to like figure out, okay, am I even going to like be in this show? Yeah. Do they have space for me? How are these girls going to perceive me? How are the designers going to perceive me? And when I tell you, everybody was just like, yes, like just give it to us. Yeah. They were all just like super supportive, and they loved my confidence, and they made that very clear. And that just made me feel even better, because I feel like a lot of times they aren't used to seeing that. They aren't used to seeing a plus size woman or plus size person, period, just being super comfortable in their skin and just like walking, strutting like, I know I'm a bad bitch. You don't got to tell me, So that's pretty much the attitude that I had in my mind. I didn't say it out loud, but I was thinking it, just because you gotta walk with a certain type of walk. Yes. But I feel like just having that experience with all of those small size people around me, just being like super into my confidence, like, because it was even some smaller girls who were struggling with their confidence in the show. So it even shows you that size has nothing to do with confidence. It could be somebody skinny and you're looking at them and you're like, oh, they're beautiful, and in their mind they have the lowest confidence that you've ever seen. Yeah. So size and looks really have almost nothing to do with confidence. It's really all about in here how you view yourself. Yeah. 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 What about you?
I can kind of agree with that for sure. I feel like it's a lot of factors that play into that, like into like your mental health and how you do feel about yourself. Yeah. I definitely still get little things said to me, whether I'm wearing something, they'd be like, "Oh, you wearing that? Yes, I'm wearing this
Mm,
crop top.
really?
Yeah, I definitely still get backhanded remarks, or even if I like do something different to my hair, like I usually, the summer's coming up, I gotta bring my blonde back.
Period.
But even when I like wear my blonde hair, people are like, "Oh, like you think you cute." Like it's just really weird vibes.
What? People
Yeah.
do that?
Yeah, real like
Wow.
backhanded vibes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I do notice when I have confidence or when I don't have like any fear in doing something, it makes other people afraid because they do have fear in that and they would
Mm.
never do that. So, that's just how I reflect it as like,
So kind of like them putting their stuff on you.
yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
Got you. Yeah, I could see people doing that. I think my mom kind no, I wouldn't say she did that 100%. I just think okay, so I was we were kind of talking earlier before we started filming, and I was just telling her about when I was younger. My mom used to wake me up at 5 o'clock in the morning to work out, and that was because I was going through a whole thing. My parents got divorced, and I went through depression. It was a whole
Yeah.
thing where I started like sneak eating and all of that stuff. So she started getting me up in the morning to work out. And, I wouldn't really say that that was her, because my mom has been plus size too. I wouldn't say that that was her putting her stuff on me. I just think she was trying to not see me go down a dark food path of
Mm-hmm.
just eating and just not really checking my emotions, checking my health. I think she just didn't want me to go straight too far. So she was like, let me just implement this stuff. But she also could have been saying, I don't want my kid to grow up and be, super big, or,
Yeah.
it could have been that. It could have been a little bit of both. But I'm not really 100% sure. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, yeah. The working out, it bothered me to wake up that early, but um I guess looking back as a 26-year-old now,
Mm-hmm.
I am kind of happy that she intervened at least in my bad eating habits at that time, and did introduce me to working out because it is okay to be plus size, and you can still you let me correct myself. You could be plus size and be healthy.
Mm-hmm.
It is okay to incorporate workouts. It's okay to incorporate eating healthy, just as long as you aren't harping on yourself about it, like I need to be skinny, like
Mm-hmm.
make it more of like a journey within yourself versus like I'm trying to, I don't know, trying to fit into this idealistic body or image of what
Yeah.
society thinks we're supposed to look like.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
definitely think it's a thin line though. When you do approach working out, and being plus size, like you kind of have to have that conversation with yourself of reasons why you are really working out. If your reasons are for weight loss, like be honest with that. Um,
Mm-hmm.
if your reasons are for if you're just working on strength and just trying to build muscle, like be honest with that, like because I feel like I don't know, whenever we start working out, like people always think it's for weight loss, and
Yeah.
then we can get caught up into that. So I think it's always a thin line that you walk when you incorporate like dieting and working out. Because you have to like not like you said be so harsh on yourself um
Yeah.
when you start that journey.
Yeah. And you know what's interesting? I in college had lost 60 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
So I had went from like 350 to like 280. I think that's a little more than 60 pounds, but whatever. Um, and during that time, I was feeling good. I was mostly doing it because I was about to graduate.
Mm-hmm.
It really wasn't because I wanted to be smaller. It
Yeah.
was just because I don't know. People have stuff coming up.
Yeah,
They
you
just like, I want
working
to,
out.
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
about to lose weight for my wedding. I don't know why I did it, honestly. It was just for graduating, really. And I gained most of the weight when I moved back home. But at that time when I did lose that weight, my confidence was pretty much the same as it is now.
Yeah.
My weight loss, I feel, didn't really impact my confidence at all. It was all within me already.
Yeah.
I don't feel like me being smaller made me feel better about myself per se. It may have made people look at me and say, "Ooh, you losing weight. Ooh, you looking good." You know, that could be a little confidence boost.
Yeah.
But other than that, it was just for me to lose weight, to challenge myself, and also just to get smaller for graduation. But
Yeah.
even now, being at the size I was when I started my whole weight loss journey, and I still feel the same. So really, and no matter what size you are, no matter what part of your journey you're in, just know that at every stage is a stage to embrace yourself.
Yeah.
And just
or to relearn yourself.
relearn yourself. Yeah,
because I can definitely say, like, I lost a good amount of weight towards like my senior year of college, and it wasn't intentional, and that's why I think people
People
know.
definitely thought it was intentional.
Yeah.
I did. Okay.
No,
Okay.
it definitely wasn't intentional. I got really sick for a while. And my confidence like lowered. Like, I would say, yeah, I stopped taking as many pictures. I stopped going as many places. Like, it definitely lowered my confidence, because I think I did boost myself up so much as a plus size person, and I'm still like, and still was plus size, but I just lost almost like 100 pounds. So I boosted myself up so much with that personality, like, you a bomb ass plus size bitch, you be fashionista, you be doing this and that. That when I lost weight, I was kind of losing that personality. I was like, okay, I'm losing weight, I'm shaped, I look weird, I look like I got an addy body now. And I mean, it balanced out, but at the end of the day, I still feel like I was losing part of me when I was losing my weight, which I know I shouldn't have equivalated to, but it was so much part of like my identity and who I was and how I stood up for myself. So I had to like regain that confidence, and I'm still like slowly regaining that confidence. I would say maybe within like the last year or so, I'm starting to feel like kind of comfortable within my body again. So, the weight loss wasn't everything people made it seem to be. Like, it wasn't the answer to my problems. And that's just something that, if you're a fat kid, that like people make it seem like if you lose weight, that's your
life will instantly get better.
Woo-hoo!
Yeah, not
like
true.
magic. Like, and it doesn't. Like, it comes with so many associated feelings with that. Like, and they may not always be happy. Like, some people have great journeys, some people don't. Like, so yeah, it just depends on your journey and what you are doing it for. When I do work out, I do it for health. Like, I don't even track calories. I don't do none of that shit. Like, I have crazy stamina. I could work out for like 3 to 4 hours at a time.
What? I'll be like, what? Ready to go after 45 minutes?
No, if I go to the gym for less than 2 hours, like, that's lame to me. So
not lame.
Like, why did I get up and do this?
I feel you. Okay.
When I did do that, like, it was literally just for strength. It was literally just to clear my head, to listen to music, like, to practice getting just stronger. I did a lot of not a lot of weightlifting, but like the little bands and everything. Did a lot of cardio just to really use it as a stress relieving time. Yeah. So I use it a lot as stress relieving. Don't even record what I'm doing, like, no apps, no nothing. Just go in there with my music, and then I'm leaving out.
Clearly, we have both had differences and similarities in our turning points. But I think, the baseline of this conversation is, you just have to love yourself. You have to love the good and bad parts. And even if it's something that you want to change, just work to change it. Don't harp on yourself about it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't talk down on yourself about it. Just say I'm working on it, and just keep moving forward. Like nobody's perfect. And we all have different struggles that we deal with. So
yeah, and giving yourself grace, like
yeah,
you're a human being, first
yeah,
of all. And things happen and things change, and when those changes happen, whether it's you gaining weight or losing weight, like even I could probably everybody gained weight during this
oh
quarantine.
yeah.
Okay. Everybody probably gained weight during this quarantine, but at the end of the day, we lived through a pandemic. So
Mm-hmm.
we need to think about that first. Like our bodies helped us survive.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how we think about it every day. Like your body is working for you to survive first. And all that other bullshit is for tomorrow. Like,
Yeah.
so love yourself within, and then try to grow. You can grow every day. So if you don't like something, like Kristen said, like work on it slowly. Like any progress is progress.
Mm-hmm.
So, just trusting in yourself. That's the real tea.
Yes, and we would love to hear about y'all turning points.
Yeah.
So if you want to share your turning point with us, then you could do so via our Instagram at Think Twice Podcast. And we would love to, hear about it, and if you feel comfortable, even possibly sharing our next episode.
Yes, we would love to.
Yes. So before we wrap up, we're going to do our triple T, our Think Twice try of the week.
Okay, we can't say all those words 3 times, so we dare you to.
Okay, so my try of the week for you guys is positive affirmations. So a positive affirmation is just a message that you say to yourself just to kind of boost your confidence, boost your self-esteem, and just remind yourself of whatever you're trying to, convince yourself of, remember, something like that. So words like I am beautiful, I am confident, I am worthy, I am loved. And just repeating those daily, just to remind yourself to say it back to yourself and internalize it.
That goes perfectly with my try of the week. My try of the week added to what Kristen said is do it for a whole minute. So time yourself.
Yes.
For 1 minute a day. This is what I do. I usually catch 11:11 on the clock, and so when 11:11 comes, I just spend a whole minute saying affirmations to myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I sit there and I try to feel like what's going on in my environment. So I encourage you to do that. Say your affirmations, but at least do it for a minute a day.
Yes. And with that being said, thank you. Yes, thank you so much.
This is the close of our first podcast.
Period.
Period.
Thank y'all for tuning in, and see y'all next time.
And hopefully you will hear from us soon.